please welcome Kelly Hart.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me again this morning. I want to thank Mr. Goldman for the discussion about alcohol. It seems sometimes in these meetings we get so fixed on opiates and other substances that we forget about alcohol use and what it's been doing and still does today. Addiction is an epidemic in our country. We see it every day in our cities, communities, for so many, right in their own homes. It does not discriminate regardless of your race, religion, or your financial status. It destroys lives every day. Addiction does not only destroy the life of the addict, but it destroys lives of those around them. Addiction itself is not a choice. It's a disease, and we need to educate others and help them understand the disease, along with how behaviors and circumstances can lead to addiction. Yes, choices do lead to the use of substances that lead to addiction, but addiction in itself is a disease. It disrupts the area of the brain that controls decision-making, judgment, motivation, and memory. It's one of the most misunderstood diseases out there today, and largely why people continue to suffer, feel hopeless, and go without treatment. No one chooses to wake up one day and say, I'm going to destroy my life and everything around it by using drugs, drinking alcohol, or other activities that can be addictive. Do you think your child, with this look of innocence and happiness on his face, decided at any point that addiction was the way to go? Do you think he grew up saying to himself that I'm going to destroy my life and the lives of those who loved him? He was loved, has a wonderful family, was supported and cared for. What was missing in his life, or what influences did he have that would lead him to a destructive lifestyle? With any addictive behavior, people that can control think they can control it and stop whenever they want. But the truth is that once your mind is hijacked by this disease, making clear and good decisions are nearly impossible. I'm not standing here to try and justify my life's actions or those of anyone else trying to recover or in recovery. I'm standing here because it's the truth, and I want people to understand addiction, stop the stigma placed on addicts, and I want to raise awareness for our communities and our generations to come. We see every day on TV and social media how quick people are to judge. It's very easy for others to say that junkie got what he deserved, or let him die, he chose to put that needle in his arm. It seems so natural anymore to judge others for their shortcomings and their faults. People get angry when they hear an addict lost their job, their marriage, and their children. People get angry when they hear about the addict stealing from their loved ones or from others or engaging in other criminal activity. I'm not saying at times with addiction, anger isn't right or deserving, but where is the balance? Why are people so understanding and supportive of other diseases, but try very little to understand addiction? Why isn't there more support and education from our government? Why isn't there more involvement in our communities? This isn't about saving just one addict. This isn't about saving one broken soul or one person with a depressive disorder. It's about ending and preventing many people from feeling completely hopeless from addiction. It's about educating and supporting others so we can reduce and try to end chemical dependency. We need people to act, stop finger pointing, open their minds and their hearts. There was nothing in my childhood that I could say was bad. I was cared for and loved. I was sometimes a follower, always trying to fit in and hang out with the cool older crowd. As a child in the city of Cleveland, I grew up in a household where alcohol was somewhat the norm, and alcohol became my gateway into addiction. With the alcohol abuse came minor criminal activities. The lifestyle that came along with alcohol helped lead me to other substances, which opened the door to a whole different path of destruction. In 2006, while working, I fell off a roof, shattering both of my feet, and had quite a few surgeries over the next few years. The pain, along with prescription laws, allowed me to have a constant flow of opiates, which became my next gateway. 4.5 years ago, as an addict, I, along with my family, became a prisoner to my addiction. My life was controlled by substances, and my family was controlled by the insanity and heartbreak that comes along with it. I destroyed my life, my family, and was even homeless at one point. I stopped breathing more than once. This was not the man I wanted to be. This was the way out. It would all end. This was not the man I wanted to be. My marriage is still healing after many years of deception. I've broken the hearts of everyone that has loved me. I've lost memories that I can't ever get back again. I've missed some very important years being the father to my children and not being the father they deserved. My mother, an amazing, strong, beautiful woman. I was certainly blessed. She deserves more than I could ever give her. Yet all she wants is my recovery and my happiness. When we talk about addicts making a choice, I agree. There is a choice of a lifestyle. There is a choice to search for worthiness, sometimes in the wrong places. There's a choice to chase that high at one point. But then we make a choice to survive another day addicted. I'm not here to ask anyone to forget the choices I did make in my life. I live with those choices every day. This was not the choice that I wanted for my life. The last resort for me was to completely surrender. With pure desperation, I fell to my knees and relied on God, Scripture, to see me through. As quoted in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, what we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry a vision of God's will into our lives. Spiritual wellness is the answer. Not only did God save my life, but He sent this man who serves others every day to give me yet another chance. Not only is there truth in scientific evidence in addiction, but there is truth in recovery. Scripture isn't the only thing that has helped me get from one day to the next sober. I spent time in recovery centers. I've taken advantage of the amazing support received by others who share my experiences. I talk to my sponsor on a regular basis, and I'm good with this. It's part of my recovery and helps me stay sober. The 12-step program is a great start to recovery. Finding the right person, sponsor, building new and healthy relationships, and doing the work is all a part of a successful recovery. Helping others is always rewarding. For me, serving others and trying to save lives in a way that only an addict can understand is the best thing I can do. There's no way to ever thank anyone enough for helping me fight this battle, but I can make a difference by giving back. Having children of my own and experimenting by the time I was 12, reaching the younger generation is important to me. I want freedom from addiction for all. However, reaching children and teenagers sooner than later is something I'm passionate about. Children and teenagers need to know that it's okay to ask questions, that it's okay to be able to turn into an adult without repercussions. They need to be able to trust adults with their struggles and know that help is available. There is freedom from this hopeless state of mind, not just for the addict, but for the loved ones as well. As you look at these pictures, this is what freedom from addiction looks like. This is recovery. I continue to support, educate, and tell my story because it's possible. As a community, we need to tell our stories. We need to work together. We need to extend our programs and resources for addicts and their families. We certainly need to remember that inside each addict is someone trying to claw their way out. And it's important that we show them it can happen. Let's give them the chance and remember to love them along the way. I've found hope, strength, passion, support, and guidance to stay sober. I'm here to represent addicts and their families and help prevent people from making the choices that I made. They deserve any opportunity available to have victory as well. Can I have my family of sober people stand up?